Hey guys, it's Ryan coming at you from Oregon. It's almost winter. We got, I think, snow is supposed to be tomorrow, so it's the last blue sky. So I'm gotta make sure to take a walk outside before it gets too much. So today we're going to be talking about 10 things that you need to prepare for job hunting. If you're already job hunting, this might be helpful. If you're about to start job hunting, these are some things to consider. If this is your first time to the channel, I do a lot of career coaching. I work with a lot of more tech professionals. But this is good for a lot of areas of any type of job search that you're doing, whether it be software, tech sale, cybersecurity, anything like that. And, I like to talk about a whole host of things. But we'll talk about things that you need to do to really help yourself get ahead and to prepare yourself. Preparation is very, very key. And we're going to talk about 10 things that you should consider needing to jumpstart. I don't mean that you should start job hunting once you get these 10 things. Start job hunting immediately, but make sure that you're adding to your portfolio these 10 things to kind of help it out. Okay. As always, I got my coffee mug today. I think I got this for my wife, but yeah, gotta love the boxers. I'm boxer dad myself. So let's start off. We'll start with the easy ones. We'll get to the advanced ones. So number one, obviously you need your resume. You need to update your resume, and it has to be updated to be what's called ATS optimized. Okay. There's a lot of new AI applicant tracking systems that will kind of filter you out if you don't have the right vocabulary, the right usage in words on the resume. There's certain recruiters are looking for something and they type it in. There's 500 applications coming through a funnel into their applicant tracking system. It's pulling out the top 20 that has these certain features or demographics or probability of success within the company. So you got to make sure that your resume is completely updated and make sure it has the basics, okay? Your education, professional summary, your background, any list of accomplishments that you have. You want to make sure that you are listing that. You want to make sure also that on average, a recruiter only looks at your resume 7 seconds. So it has to make sure that you has things that draw the eye in and goes right to your accomplishments as well and what makes you the right fit for the role. But overall, you want to make sure it's updated. You want to make sure that it's the right formatting, between 1 to 2 pages. I would say that like 2 pages. If you've been in the market for like 30 years, 3 pages is fine. If you're entry level, it should be just 1 page. Okay. And you want to make sure you're highlighting certain skill sets that you have and make sure it's ATS compliant. If you need a little bit of help here, feel free to reach out. I'm able to redo your resume to make sure it has the right vocabulary. Next thing is cover letter. A lot of people think cover letter is dead. Trust me, it's not. It's really not. And it obviously depends on the role that you apply for. If you're doing a entry level, they're probably not going to look at your cover letter too much because of just sheer application. If you're going to an executive level position, they definitely look at it. I look at it. And I do hiring all the time. We just sent out 2 more offer letters for tech people yesterday. So very important to have a cover letter. Cover letter should be 1 page, and the formatting should be a bit about your introduction, what makes you professional. The body should be your background and certain accomplishments that you've had, adversity overcome, and the final is your kind of your connection and your ending that says how excited you are and a little bit more on your personality. Should be talking about your personal skill sets. There should be 1 or 2 items in your resume and cover letter that make you unique, that make you stand out in the person's mind. You want to be top of mind for them. You want to be memorable, basically. Okay. Third thing is your LinkedIn. Okay. Overall, your LinkedIn is a must if you're going to work in tech. If you're working in certain industries, it's not so much common. If you're going into HVAC, if you're going into trade skills, it's good to have a LinkedIn, but I don't know if it's that necessary. If you're working in tech, you need a LinkedIn because everybody else has one. Your professional network on LinkedIn also can become an asset down the road. So you want to make sure that you have a professional photo. It's very tailored. And that, once in a while you're posting. I would recommend posting maybe once a month on key things within your industry. A lot of people repost. That's fine when you're starting out. But ideally, when you get the hang of it, start posting your own content. This is really good for just kind of making people aware in the network itself. Okay. By the way, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn if you need people. Sometimes people need connections, and if you need a connection or professional reference, I'd be happy to endorse you. Just send me a LinkedIn request, okay? And make sure you add a note because I get a lot. Because as a recruiter, I get a lot of requests every single day, and sometimes I'm not sure if are they job hunting? Is it a client? Is it just some random person? Is it a salesperson that's trying to sell me something? So make sure you add a note if you're messaging me on the reason why, just so I can identify you. Next, number 4. This is something that maybe you haven't really considered before, but a video resume. Okay, a video resume. A video resume that's about 2 minutes long that really introduces yourself, describes yourself, shows your energy, shows your personality to the hiring manager or whoever the company. This is very key, and it's something that's a very different than what everybody else is doing. 99% of the people don't do this, but it's good to have a video resume. And the other reason is it's good to practice. Probably in the modern day, you're going to be doing a Zoom interview with certain people, and it's good to practice kind of your in-person, your video skill sets. So start practicing. So how you look, how you're perceived, and then also record a 2-minute segment of introducing yourself. Okay, this is something that you can utilize on certain applications. So just be aware of that. Video resume. Number 5, email templates. Okay, you want a few different email templates at the ready when you're doing some. There's a lot of applications where it's repeatable stuff. So for example, your thank you message after the interview or thank you message after seeing them, but also introduction to the hiring manager. You ever been on an application when it's like, do you have a message for the hiring manager? Okay. You want to start crafting maybe a template so you don't have to keep repeating that. And it shouldn't be an essay. It should be a paragraph. It should be 3 to 5 sentences of introducing yourself that you can consistently use all the time on multiple applications. So you want to make sure you have that template. Okay. Number 6, what else do you need to prepare for? Be well groomed. This is the time to shave or trim or go get a haircut, pluck the eyebrows if you have to, get your teeth whitened, whatever it needs, but you want to make sure that you are presentable. Okay. Number 7, mine's 7. Same thing, suit and tie. Suit and tie you want to make sure you have for interviews. And even if it's a casual interview, you still have a suit, maybe no tie and unbuttoned collar, but you still want to look dressed the part. Okay, so make sure you're dressing the part. You want to have a suit and tie. Make sure that it's fit, that it's tailored. You want to make sure that you go to a tailor store and get your measurements so you know your measurements. A great one that I've used for weddings is Black Tux, that they take your measurements online. And then I like the suit so much, sometimes I end up buying them. I think I bought 2 there and a tuxedo. And they're relatively cheap. So shout out to them, but that's a great place to get a suit and tie. You can use it for your LinkedIn profile. You can use it for your interviews, but it's better to overdress than underdress. I've had people that have come on interviews in t-shirts, they're out. I've had people that also their backdrop, their background should be at least, okay. Okay. Like obviously I got my Peloton in the background. It's not like the most amazing thing. I could have one in a skyscraper or a giant library of books or something like that that looks a little more aesthetically pleasing. And I don't count people against that too much, but there can't be like trash in the background. It can't be like litter everywhere, which I've seen. So make sure that if you're doing a background that's kind of just like bland, it's still well kept. Okay. So make sure you're well kept. Make sure your place is well kept. It just shows that little bit of organization and presentation. Okay. Next thing, number 8, you want to prepare for the interview. You want to make sure you do solid interview prep. Obviously, if you check out my website, I kind of help you with a mock interview, but you want to make sure that you prepare for the interview. You want to prepare, number 1, an introduction. When they ask you, tell us about yourself, you prepare for this. This is also where the video resume can come in. And number 2, common questions that you may get. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Tell us about a time that you had a setback. How did you overcome it? What has been your biggest accomplishment? Why do you want this job? So little things like that, you want to make sure that you are preparing for. prepare in front of the mirror, prepare in front of the camera, prepare with a friend, you can prepare with me, but preparation's key. Number 9, storytelling. Okay, the art of storytelling. Okay, the art of storytelling. You want to make sure that you have 2 to 3 key stories in your arsenal that when you're in an interview that you can whip out that shows that you either overcame an obstacle or you had a big accomplishment. Okay, so facts tell, stories sell. You want to make sure that you're having some stories, 2 to 3 stories that you can use to really showcase that you can do the job. Ideally, accomplishments in the previous role. That's the ideal scene. My whole boss just texted me on LinkedIn. I wish them a happy Thanksgiving. So, number 10, you want to make sure that you have a target sheet. You want to make sure you're approaching your job hunting kind of almost like a sales cycle. So you want to have a target sheet. When you're starting out, put on the list 10 to 15 high target companies that you would want to work for. Okay, not just shotgun approach where you saw the job ad and you're just applying just to see what you can get. These are 10 to 15 ones that you've researched that you want to work for. Okay, start there at those type of companies. Then if they reject, look at their competitors. Look at all the people in the similar industry and start expanding that list. You can go from 10 to 15 to 200 companies of things in the same industry or similar types of companies. And I would recommend prioritizing it in, yes, they have a job ad that's open, so contact them first. And number 2, one's in your proximity. Okay, there's there's a lot of, I'm living in a small town, for example. However, like there's pods sometimes of companies, right? The headquarters might be in New York, but there's 3 or 4 of the workers that live in my area. That's a great place to network. So you want to start thinking of, you want to prioritize some, because in modern day, a lot of the companies are looking for hybrid workers. If you can get a remote job, great. But I would prioritize that because I think your likelihood of landing the role is much more higher. So I hope this helps. Resume, cover letter, LinkedIn, video resume, email templates, messages, well-groomed suit and tie, interview prep, storytelling, target sheet. These are all the things that you need to really prepare. And even if you don't have it, you can fine tune them. You don't need all of them to get started though. Start today, start taking action. You want to schedule time to do job hunting. Okay, if you're completely unemployed, okay, yes, you should be doing it. If I was completely say I lost everything, I'd take 2 or 3 days to myself just to recoup, and then I'd start working out a battle plan. I start targeting these companies. I start fixing all these things. I start thinking about, what do I want to do? What are the areas that are going to be growing in the next 5 years? Okay, if you haven't seen some of the other videos I've done, I've talked about this in length, where the industries that are going to be growing in the next 5 years. So be aware of that, as well as what skill sets can you take with you. So I hope this helped. Hope this was useful. A lot of free resources in the description below. Feel free to use those. Feel free to contact me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful start to December coming up. All right, take care. Cheers.